Hi, it's me, I'm back. Episode 3 of Higher. Here we go. I really want to show you this bass in verse 2. In the last episode, I spoke about the bass in the chorus, ridiculously confusingly, for what is essentially just a sub bass. But the reason why I was in my head about it is because I did this really fun thing with the bass and I was very excited to tell you about it. And then I forgot to tell you about it. And so here I am now telling you about it. Here's the bass. Let me know if you hear something. You hear how it sounds a bit dusty? Well, the reason why that is because I recorded it with a paintbrush. Let me explain. There's an artist I love, a producer I love, this guy called Tennyson, and he has this bass tone in one of his songs that I was just absolutely obsessed with, and it sounded so dusty and real, and it didn't feel like digital in any way. It felt very analog. It felt very like actual. And I remember just scrolling through his Instagram one day trying to find a clue as to how he did it, and then there in front of me was a video of him with a paintbrush in one hand and a microphone propped up close to a speaker, and he just played the bass through the speakers and put his paintbrush on the cone, and I cried because of how simple and brilliant it is. It adds such emotion, I think. It adds depth to your bass sounds and makes them feel so much more real. Like, again, like, it's just such an important role that bass has in music, is to ground, but also like move and shake, and like so much emotional release can come from a good bass. And I think just giving a little dust, a little dirt to a bass that isn't distortion or saturation, that adds also a little stereo element to it. Like, I've panned it to the right here. Like, that is just a microphone. There is no processing on that other than probably there's an EQ, and that'll be to roll off the top and the bottom because I've got another bass, because I've duplicated it and I don't want it to phase out. It adds so much, and it's so simple. And I love things that add lots and but do little. Sunlight, I am staring you down. And it's not taking the spotlight away from the song. It is just textural, and texture is important. Texture is so important, especially in dance music. Especially in music like this, texture is so important. So that's my fun little bass moment. What else we got going on? Oh, this bit coming up is fun. So the drums we've pretty much established as being me doing kick and snare, little hi-hat, just put on a kit, just recording stuff. Then I've got like some breakbeat toppers and shakers and tams and crashes and whatever. Here in the second verse, we get a lovely little moment from Gio Jordan, who I've spoken about before. Gio, I love him so much. When I was doing a lot of tracking for this song, or like trying to excavate this song when we were in Devon last year, he sent me an iPhone recording he'd made of him sitting at a drum kit. Completely unrelated to the song. He did this years ago, I think, or a while ago. And he just sent it to me, and I chopped it up and took some of the bits and put it in this. I use it as like, as toms. He does a couple of tom fills that I've then chopped and changed and turned into this. Here it is with the breakbeat. Immediately bobs your head and fannies your arm. I love that. Again, simple, simplicity, elegance, efficiency, emotion, all emotion. Now, clear through the sunlight, I am staring you down. There's just a lot of, because there's so much space in the song, all these elements are just having their little moment in the spotlight and then calling and responding to each other. Like, I love how that fomented vocal, that sample of me, like calls and is then responded to by the piano. Like, we get this like monophonic moment of me singing, and then we get a very like lush harmonic polyphonic instrument in the piano. I love that there's just those moments that are dotted throughout the song. And then that's where the toms come in. The toms kind of take over a little of the rhythm. Yeah. It is nice. I just think like the thing I really focused on with this record is, again, like efficiency, smart production, but all in service of clarity, all in service of emotion.
Don't you lift me higher, 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 higher.
So here, in this moment, is where we get a bit more strings. We're still in plug-in strings at the moment. But again, it's just for that emotional depth. And again, I think, how have I done it? What have I done it on? On the augmented strings, which is Arturia, I think, isn't it? Yeah, it is. And so I remember taking fucking forever on these sounds and trying to find the best ones to use. And because I wanted something scratchy. I wanted a violin that felt emotional, but I wanted to be able to hear like a poorly resined bow on an old dirty string. Because for me, that connects to the bass, the brush on the bass from earlier. Just all these tethers, all these invisible strings connecting to all these other moments. Again, it's not necessarily for you, but it does help me understand the story I'm telling. The scratchiness of that, but it's still performative. It almost feels like a pipe organ. Yeah, gorgeous. And lets the vocals sing. Yeah, that's a very nice little moment, that. Let me just play that through. Because we get this build before our last chorus. We come back to those rising chords and we come back to our higher, higher, higher hook. Like the drums. I wanted the drums to feel like they never stop. I wanted to feel like they were always going. Even when you can't hear them, I wanted you to feel like they just exist forever. Because part of the panic attack of this song is this feeling of plead, of why was in me so much and was like a constant hum of like self-imposed victimhood. I wanted the drums to really represent my anxiety through it. And so they just go. So they never really stop. They only ever fade out. And when they do stop, it's because I'm pulling something from underneath you. So here, in our proper build, you hear how they just like, let me play that again. You hear how they kind of out. But they're still there. They're still holding on. And the voice is getting more desperate. And that reverb tail is on forever. And then you never get the break that you want. I always fuck it a bit. I always come back. I always hit you in the face with it. And then I don't really build here. I think I kind of give you everything, and then I am relentless. Let me see. The piano I bring in a bit, but to be honest, I'm giving you everything. I'm giving you everything now. I'm not holding back. I've brought in lots of, there's a lot more synths now. It's like this guy who's punching away in the background, which is just an arpeggiator on my Juno. So it's like, no, there's nothing on that at all other than the grand finale, which is just making it a bit more transient, which is to say it kind of makes the attack a little more like hit it a little harder, a little more like nailing something in. Just ever so slightly. Yeah, like it sounds really flat without that. So we got this, which is doing a lot of, again, it's holding a lot of the harmonic responsibility. Our bass is back in. There's a little bit more movement in it now. Our piano. And then... And we're going up, we're moving ahead with all cylinders firing. I want to take you through the strings. Tina Here's on. my best friend and my birthday mate. We both were born on the 11th of October. And yes, I'm a Libra. As if that wasn't obvious. She came in one day to just like hang out, and I said, bring your violin, and she did. And I just recorded her, and I cannot stress how bad I was at recording her. It was my first time doing strings, and I did not know what I was doing, and I used the wrong mic. I wanted something shinier, but at the time I thought I wanted that scratchiness, but I just couldn't get it right. And I hung this ribbon mic above her, and it did not sound the way I wanted it to. It doesn't sound bad. It sounds really good, but that's because I moved with my restrictions rather than working against them. I am a fan of following the path of least resistance, but sometimes the path of least resistance still has resistance, right? I was far enough down the rabbit hole of making this song and recording her as much. Look at how many fucking takes we got, that I knew if I started again, I just didn't need to. I could use what I had. I want to be a resourceful producer. I don't believe in perfection. I don't believe in forcing the right moment to exist. I believe in taking what you capture in the moment and making that work. That's fundamentally what I believe as a producer and as a artist and as a musician. I think there's too much focus. I think too many producers are on a spectrum, and so we obsess over the things that truly don't matter rather than obsessing over the thing that does, which is how do I make what I have work. And so this is Tina. So it's very resonant. It almost feels like almost sounds like the strings at the beginning of the thong song, but it's got a kind of like mellotron feel to it. But I really love the resonance that it does bring to the track. There's a harshness to it, which I think is really important because the song, again, is this anxiety attack. Something should feel uncomfortable. It blends really beautifully in with the other cellos that I've got, and with the guitars that I put on it. Let me unmute them as well. Let me just play those elements together to show you what I mean. Like, this is a completely different song, but this song exists within the song I've produced. It's in there. Like, those rises are so... The swells make me fucking emotional. Let me loop that round, and I'll bring the drums in for the next time round. Like, the guitar is playing in halftime, but the drums, I love that song is in the bones of this. That there is this ballad that is the spine of this song, and very much like my emotional state. That might be my spine, but the thing I can hear the loudest is my anxiety and my fear. And the drums just don't stop. Speaking of, I want to take you through the ending, and then I'm going to stop. We get this little break in the middle of the chorus. A final plea. The claps. Just on them. There's everything's happening now. I don't think anything's muted. Every single element that I've introduced, I'm now using. And we get halfway through this moment, and rather than lead you to a satisfying conclusion, I just fade out the chaos. So it never stops. It continues forever. You just can't hear it anymore. And that ballad takes over. Again, you've not heard any of the chaos stop. You've just heard it fall away. These moments were so important in the making of this whole album. Not every song has a transition. Not every song kind of ends like this. But these moments of pause and of subtlety was so important in the grander story that I was trying to tell with the record. I'm pretty sure that ending is just, yeah, it's this. I just bounced it down. I bounced down the guitar and what did I do it through? I've got no idea. That's just as is. I've got the lossy on it. Yeah. So let me take that off. I'm not sure what I'm putting that through. I've just taken the guitar and I've taken that vocal sample and I've reamped it through something. Maybe it was going through... No, it must have been going through my pedal board. And then I've added this rotary. This is an Arturia rotary engine. It's fucking brilliant. And this just gives you a little movement. You can see here just going right and left. So rather than using an auto pan... this gives me a little drive as well, and kind of sounds like a rotary organ. And then I'm also going through the Ampex, which is this, which is the tape emulator, which I'm using to just kind of glue things together. Really, you can see it's not doing a lot. And then the big boy that's doing a lot of the heavy lifting is this, which I use to decrease the quality of the audio. So rather than fading out, it just gets worse until it becomes nothing. I like doing that trick. I do that a lot. Rather than fading out, I use the lossy to give you the impression that something's fading. Let me just play you that moment through to the end so you can hear it for yourself. Just got the piano as well, finishing off the story. Yeah, and these drones. And then it ends. I think that's everything I want to tell you. I really love this song. I had to really fight for it, weirdly, in a way I wasn't kind of expecting to. I have always really loved this song and thought it was going to be very special is the wrong word, but like a key moment in the record. And I kind of had to convince more people of that than I thought I would have had to. I don't say that out of spite, but just out of like curiosity. It always felt very clear to me that this was like a big moment. And so I'm really glad it's getting its moment in the sun, that it's kind of getting to show itself to you. Yeah, big shout out to Johan. Thank you for making this one with me. Big shout out to Tina, Gio, everyone else who worked on it. This was a real labor of love. It took me a long time to get this done. When I listen to it, there's not a single thing I would change, which is a rare moment for me, but also reflective of the things I'm just trying to do at the moment, which is surrender more. But that's it. That's Higher. I'll be back with a breakdown of a new single when the new single is out. In the meantime, pre-order Pillars. It comes out on the 15th of August. Yeah, come and see me at the in-stores that I'm doing. If you haven't already got a ticket, just go on my website and you can see where I'm coming. Tell your friends. Buy merch. I'll see you. Okay, bye.